Jay Sano without intro music. Jay Sano with intro music. Intro music remix. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Ooh. So hello everybody, welcome back. It is Jeff again, coming to you from the Mindcrack server. And as you guys have told me over and over and over again in the comments, apparently my rooftop garden, actually Adlington's rooftop garden, will not be able to be a thing. Because I guess Aurelian has claimed this is her penthouse. Not quite sure how that happened, but it happened nonetheless. And like I said, you guys have told me that over and over and over again in the comments. So basically what I'm saying is you don't need to tell me anymore in the comments that Aurelian already has this claimed, because I understand that. But you know what? You guys just watched me get the awesome Silk Touch pick. The luck of having a mid-level enchant be Silk Touch on a book that I could then put onto my diamond pick. So what we're going to do, we're going to start right now. One of the reasons I said I hadn't wanted to start this before was because I didn't want to waste all this glass, knowing it was a limited resource. So now I have gotten the glass all Silk Touched, and I'm going to make myself a deck. But you know what? I'm not just going to make myself a deck. I'm going to make a deck big enough to have my own garden. So Aurelian, you can have the roof. I'm going to have an awesome sweet-ass garden right outside my own apartment. And guess what? He might not even know it yet, but since I know that Adlington, Mr. Ads right over here, he was the man who originally, doesn't even moved in yet, but he was the man who originally wanted the rooftop garden as far as I understand, which he's going to be left out of as well. I'm making the biggest beast deck, balcony, etc. that exists. So not only can I have a garden, Adlington can have a garden too. I'm making a wraparound deck right around this baby. It's going all the way over to Ad's house, and we are going to enjoy each other's company. You know what? How do I want to do this? I don't know yet. I think I'm going to make it so that we have a deck that's going to be very multifaceted, multicolored, different types of wood. But for now, it doesn't even matter, because this is just stage 1 of deck progress. Because like I said, the deck's going to be big enough. Not only is it going to be an awesome wraparound deck so Adlington and I can have parties and have people over and just enjoy barbecue, grill, watching football games together, because gotta remember, it is football season again, which is awesome. And for those of you who are in Europe, it's not your football season, it's our football season. So I mean, no, it's not what I wanted. I didn't bring an axe with me. There's a witch walking around down there. You guys see that? Look at her. What a jerk. She thinks she owns this place. Maybe she wants a rooftop garden too. Nah, I'm just kidding. Hey, Adlington, check out what I'm doing. You're not even here, but this is going to be sweet. Hopefully this isn't against code. I don't think it is. I would say that if somebody can claim a penthouse, then making my own wraparound deck to enjoy with my neighbor who doesn't even know I'm doing this. He's going to be so excited when he gets home. When he actually starts moving stuff in, he's going to be like, who made this awesome wraparound deck so I can go party with Jay Sano? That's what he's going to say. I know it is. I hope it is. Hopefully he's not like, God, that guy. He's the worst person to make a deck that I have to connect with. That would be bad. I would be sad if he said that. This is just wraparound rendition number 1. there we go. Adlington and I, we have a wraparound deck, the startings of our little party pad. We're going to be like the best neighbors ever. We're going to have a sitcom. They're going to write songs about us. It's going to be awesome. So, let me get back to you guys when I get a little bit more progress done on this baby. So as I'm working on this stuff and finishing it up, I figure I will continue on with my stories from last episode about apartments and things like that I've owned. I did own an apartment, which you will, or own an apartment. Nobody owns an apartment. Well, somebody owns the apartment. People who are renting it don't own the apartment, hence the point of renting. So I can't say I own the apartment. One of the apartments I lived in, oh, this is a funny story. You guys will actually hear a little bit more of this in the upcoming What Do We Know podcast, which, yes, a bunch of people have been asking me about, and yes, it is definitely still in the works. Gotten together with the guys, and we've recorded a decent amount of footage. We're just actually trying to get it put together in a way, because it wasn't always just like sit down, do a show, and go. Some of them were like that, but we're trying to get it put together in such a way that people are going to be, you know, entertained and have like a topic and make a length in a schedule and things like that. It's very difficult to get time between, you know, my buddy in Michigan, my buddy in Japan, and myself with my schedule. You guys know how crazy my schedule is, let alone the schedule of, you know, getting cross-continent, excuse me, not even cross-continent, across the world understanding of like time frames that we can get together and things like that. So it's coming, don't worry about it. But one of the apartments I lived in, like I said, you'll hear more about it in that podcast, but it was actually right by where I went to college, and I ended up moving into this place because a buddy of mine, his parents owned it. They were landlords, and they owned the place, and he was living there basically as a place for him for free rent because, you know, his parents owned the place. They weren't charging him any money to live there. Why is this so laggy all of a sudden? And he decided he was going to move out, and it was literally 3 blocks away from where I went to school, and I had to move somewhere after I moved out of the dorms, and I was really hoping that this place would become available because I needed a place to live. I can't quite finish this thing, can I? Oh, birchwood planks, sure I can, because these still make sticks just the same as everything else does. And he decided he was going to be moving out at a perfect time frame when I needed to move in, and I was really excited because it was super cheap, as well as I knew his parents, and they hooked me up with a nice like discount and everything to live there. And they didn't even put me on a lease term. They were like, yeah, no, Jeff, just do it month to month because we know that you're in school and we know that you're there for 3 months, you know, at a time, and we're not even gonna screw around with a 3-month lease. You're a good guy. Just do month to month, and when you want to move out, move out. When you don't, like, if you want to stay, then stay. I was like, okay, sweet. It was like $400 a month or something like that too. It was a really good deal. Oh yeah, look at this baby. Look at this wraparound deck, guys. And I kind of like the floating fence design. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but I really do like it. Hopefully Adlington is just as happy with this as I am. It gives us some area right here, a little area over here where he can build, you know, have a little rooftop garden type thing going on. I'm not sure. He can extend it if he wants. He can tear it down if he wants. But I hope he likes the connected neighborhood theme that it is. Now, unfortunately, mobs will be spawning here, so I need to get some torches down until we can get better type of lighting. But anyways, so I moved into this apartment because, like I said, my buddy was moving out, and the reason he was actually moving out was because the guys who lived above him, it was a house that was split into a split level apartment, and the guys that lived above him decided to one night get drunk and shoot each other with guns in the apartment, and they continued to live in said apartment, and because they didn't die, they shot each other, and I don't know how they shot each other, but they truly did. And they stayed living there, and he was afraid for his life to live there. And I looked at that as an opportunity. He saw doors closing, I saw doors opening. So I moved on in and had a good old cheap rent for when I went to college for a little while. So that was an interesting place to live. Where else? not the next place I lived, but one of the places later that I lived. What am I even looking for right now? I need to do some type of balcony entrance here. I don't know quite how to do it. I want to kind of do a sliding glass door, but I don't know if I can do a sliding glass door. I know for a fact I can't do a sliding glass door, but I mean, whatever. One of the places I lived when I got my first real job. That's nice. I just need some type of door in the middle. If I put a normal door here, will the glass connect to it? I don't think it will. What is wrong with this chest? There's so many bugs in this newest snapshot. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't even know if it's the newest snapshot, actually, but it's kind of ridiculous. A lot of things that used to work. No, that will not connect. That's weird. I think I want one more piece of glass here, but I need to go get sand and like melt it down to do so. But then I don't know what I would want to do here. It looks pretty, I think it looks pretty nice though. I definitely got to get a barbecue in the works here. How did Guude do his balcony? I glanced at it before. I can't even see it. My balcony's too awesome. I can't even see his balcony from here. Let's go down and look at his though. But then I moved into this place that it was actually similar to the way that the Bling Towers is set up. Not as tall, but there was all these in the apartment complex. There was a bunch of different buildings that were just the apartments. In each place, it kind of had like if this was one of the apartment buildings, it was only two floors. There were only 2 floors, but multiple buildings. And each building itself had, got like 20, 25 units in it, something like that. But they were separated into 4s. So if you walked in this door, which everybody who lived in this particular set of 4 apartments had a key to this door. So only 4 people had a key to your main door to get in. And then you walked upstairs and got to your apartment and you had a key to your own door. So it was kind of like a double security system. It was kind of nice. And coincidentally, the people that lived in the 3 apartments surrounding us. Whoa, buddy. Okay, not going to check out Guude's place from there. Can I check it out from here? Considering I can see it. Oh, he did glass. That looks pretty cool, actually. I don't know. I'm happy with the floating fence, but that glass does look pretty sweet. Does that thing... What is going on over there? I really want to get in there now because what is that building? Somebody playing a prank on him or what? I didn't even notice that. Anyways, but the 3 people that lived in there with us, 3 other apartments, everybody was awesome. Friends of the one girl who lived next door used to come over and call us Melrose Place. And granted, I've never seen Melrose Place, but I mean, old show back in my era. It was on in my era. I just never watched it. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he was saying it in the aspect that we all got along so well and how he wished he could have an apartment there because he couldn't believe how we all just like went outside. We'd all go out to our balcony. If one person went out to the balcony, we'd like throw rocks at the other person's like windows or whatever, have them come out to the balcony so we could all just sit there and chill and have a good old time. So, I mean, I've had some good and bad apartment experiences in my day. Granted, I will never live with a couple again as a non-coupled person myself because I've had some definite bad experiences. Whoops, wrong button. Experiences with that. God, I've had some horrible experiences living with people who are couples. My own friends, I had them move into my apartment when my girlfriend and I split up, like the small apartment I was talking about last time. I had some friends that moved in with me, and they were a couple, and I didn't think it was a big deal because we were really good friends. We hung out like all the time, so I didn't think it'd be a big deal at all. But they were the most inconsiderate roommates ever. I mean, everybody says that about roommates, but to the point where she decided, you didn't even move my stuff yet. She decided, as in the girl in the relationship, that she wanted pets. So she was going to get pets. And she picked like a guinea pig and a gerbil. No, a rabbit and a guinea pig, or a rabbit and a gerbil, or some crap like that. That's what she decided she wanted as pets. And we had this small ass apartment, and she let him roam free in the... She blocked off the hallway. There was only one hallway that went from the living room back to the 2 bedrooms and the bathroom. And she set up like baby gates essentially, and then let them run free on the floor in that hallway. So if you had to go back to the bedroom, you had to like step through their cage. And this is all without consulting me. And they shit everywhere. And I'm not kidding. I'll tell you, one of the guys I do the podcast with, it's funny. I used to call him all the time to go out to the bar, and a lot of it was when I lived there. I couldn't stand being at home anymore, and I used to tell him this. He'd be like, dude, Jeff, like, it can't be that bad. We used to hang out at your house all the time, and now all you ever do is call me and have me go out to the bar because you don't want to be at your house anymore. And I'm like, dude, trust me, it's that bad. It's really messed up. And he did not believe me at all. So one day we were gonna go to the bar, and he's like, tell you what, he's like, I'll meet you over at your apartment, and we'll go to the bar from your apartment, because I kind of want to see what you're talking about, because I hadn't invited him over to my place in like months because I was so embarrassed about it. He walked in the door, he looked around, and he goes, oh my god, it smells like shit in here, and those things are shitting everywhere. And he was saying this not to me, but to the girl whose pets they were, that I'd complained to her multiple times and told her to like clean up her act and things like that. And she kept saying, like I said, we were really good friends, and she kept saying, oh yeah, you know, I understand, I will, blah, blah, blah. And he just started calling her out, and he was laughing so hard in that awkward laughing type of way, because he realized that I was not, whoa, screw you, asshole. He realized I was not exaggerating, and we went out to the bar, and he goes, Jeff, I had no idea. Like, I thought you were exaggerating, and obviously you were not at all. He says, if anything, you were understating the problems that were actually going on there. And, of course, everybody in that situation is like, why don't you tell them that they don't clean it up, you kick them out, blah, blah, blah. And, yes, that's a great idea in concept, but when you're dealing with friends who you live with, like, it becomes this whole different, like, what the heck? Let me in! It becomes this whole different deal with what you can and can't say, and what you really do and don't want to do, like, where it's crossing the line. Yes, I wanted to kick them out. Yes, I think they're assholes and they need to understand that. But it's so hard when you're dealing with friends, because when you know friends are going to get upset about it. Like, if you dealt with people who, on a daily basis, who are your good friends, and you were like, hey, we need to make sure we get this this thing taken care of, or else you're going to move out, and you didn't take care of it. So now get the fuck out of my house. You'd have people who were, and I was going to say, if that happened and everybody was like, oh yeah, he kicked me out because I was being an asshole and I didn't do it, like, well deserved, so, you know, we're still friends, we still hang out, I got my own new place. People aren't like that, though. That's the problem. People hold grudges. They feel embarrassed. Embarrassment is one of the biggest things that I think causes fights and things like that with people, not because they think they're right, but because they're so embarrassed by the fact that they're wrong, and despite whether you're judging them or not for being wrong, just calling them out on it embarrasses people, and it causes them to be very, very just different in how they would normally react to something. I mean, it's just a fact of life. It's you'll understand it when you get there if you haven't gotten there yet, but it's true. And I've done the same thing myself. When I get embarrassed about something, you know, I answer and do things inappropriately or differently than I normally would, thinking I'm saving face, when of course I'm not. But, you know, and other people are like that too. Anyways, enough rambling about more apartment stories. You guys get the gist, and I don't want to ruin it all from the podcast. But anyways, tell me what you think about the deck. Adlington, come over, man. Let's party. Build yourself a nice little doorway out, and we're gonna like set up a barbecue and stuff over here. We're gonna set up a garden. We can extend this deck out and make a garden ourselves and say, haha, our garden's better than yours, Ori. And we can do things like that. So I'm gonna come knock on your glass door. Knock, knock. Hey, you actually got 2 different ways out of here. Do I have the same thing? I think I do, actually. Because one of these guys, because this can be the barbecue. This is a perfect barbecue area. And then this, I guess the windows just aren't extended down like they are on your side of it. But I can extend this down and make this like extend it out a little bit and make it the rooftop garden. But either way, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.